Dan here, Dum Dum Speed Shop. So we're back working on the old Chevy 2. It's actually been a few days. I managed to keep the shop like cherry in here, which is hilarious because it's going to be destroyed in about 2 hours. Story of my life. Anyway, so today we're pulling apart this fine, overpriced 64 Chevy 2. I think we kind of got a name for it. We put a video out a few days ago, and what was it? Nova Paid or Nova. No, I forget what it is. It was a good one though. I wrote it down. Nova Paid? Yeah, Nova Paid. So we'll see if we can do that. Maybe DD speech up on the door.
Overpaid.
Oh yeah, because I overpaid, so Nova Paid. That's what it is. Nova Paid. There we go.
You gotta do it with a Boston accent.
Yeah. And everyone thought I'm an idiot that we're going to put this thing together and then drive it, however many ungodly amount of hours, thinking gassers can't be driven or straight axles can't be driven on the highway and stuff. And it feels like everybody forgot that there was cars that were built before like 1955 that were straight axles. So I'm thinking it'll be fine. And if it's rough, it's rough. If he's a stabilizer, he's a stabilizer, and we'll figure all those things out. But in the meantime, so the plan is we ordered all the stuff from Speedway. I believe it's on the way. You know, the problem is you go to Power Tour, you sell a few t-shirts, you meet a few people from Speedway, you say how much that you like. A few years ago, probably 4 years ago now, Speedway and I think Motor Trend or whoever did a video called Week to Wicked. They were doing a series, and one of them was a 67 Nova, so a later model than this. And they did an axle and a whole thing. They built it in like 5 days, Week to Wicked. And I was like, man, that's a cool car. And then next thing you know, this thing came up many years later at the same time as I meet the people from Speedway. I go, hey, that was a cool car. And they go, funny story, we stock all that stuff. I go, oh, great. So anyways, you know, we were waiting on stuff to be in stock and all that as the world goes. But now that's on its way. So I'm pretty excited. I think this will be kind of a cool little hot rod. It actually looks kind of neat like this, all cleaned up and done. And I mean, if we put a transmission in it, I think you could legitimately drive it anywhere you wanted. But such is life. We're going to peel it apart and ruin it. This was always like the dream, to find a car in this shape. Like, this is like a little old lady granny's car, and then you hot rod it. So I think it should be pretty good. So Danny's going to hang out while we completely gut this thing. She's going to have to help hold the hood and all those sort of things. The plan's going to be hood off. But I don't know if I should take maybe the fenders off, the bumper off, and then maybe the inner skirt and all that all kind of come together. I'll have to do a little figuring, but I kind of think that that's how these things work. Is almost like a Dodge. The inner, apron, all that stuff is its own thing. You can't take the inner fender wells out because they're the shock tower and everything. So fenders off, bumper off, hood off, and then I guess maybe the motor actually has to come out first. Motor and transmission out, unless the motor and trans are going to come out with the front clip. Huh. You know, I didn't do a lot of planning on this, which is really surprising. I usually really overthink things to the moon, right? But we'll get started by taking the front end off and see exactly where we end. It's a good thing I washed the car and got the garage all wet while I'm lying on my back. All right, you want to start taking this apart? Well, couple of things. Wouldn't say it's going great. This thing definitely has to come a lot further apart than I thought it was. There's a lot of bolts holding this front end together. Way more than someone needs. Like way more. Unibody. There's 2 bolts that hold the fender in from underneath. Well, this is Tri-5 shit. They haven't figured out yet. 10 years later, there's no inner fender liner. All the stuff gets tossed up in here. There's a little void from about here forward, and there's little captured nuts in there. Well, they've rotted away, so it just spins. There's 2 bolts there, and then the bolt that holds the bottom of the fender on is also not great. I meant to get torch gas the other day, and I didn't. But hopefully it's got a little left in her. Or I'll have to. I thought this would be like, oh yeah, this would be 10 minutes. Got a little. See how this goes. I'll go high speed. Fine. Chevy. I made a new enemy today. Might need a whack with a hammer, but I think it's okay. Okay. I guess we should do the one underneath, which is going to be ugly, because somebody just undercoated. You know, they can't see your disappointing look like I can. Get that all to myself. We'll have to fix that later.
That's a future Dan problem.
Problem is, future Dan's gonna have to do this in like 2 days. It's not like it's way down the road Dan problems. Still seems like his fender is on there pretty good too for some reason. Which is kind of frustrating. Isn't he on fire there?
Please don't burn another interior.
It kind of sounds like fire, but doesn't look like fire. Does this work?
It's definitely smoke.
Yeah. That'll happen. I think it's just the undercoating burning off. It's not like it's getting worse. Oh. How do you feel about this piece of trim here? Is it a keeper or?
I don't care.
Rockers in this thing are in nice shape.
Probably because there's trim there.
Why is
blocking the whole thing?
Usually trim makes it worse. This thing was definitely apart at some point, and then put back together, and whoever did it was a DD Speed Shop guy, because every, like, it's like Phillips head, flathead, self-tapper.
You can't get mad at the DD Speed Shop style people.
No, but I just...
You guys do it to yourself.
I'm burning myself here. All right. That's enough we can get in here. Oh, we gotta take this up. Oh, there's a hole in this fender. maybe we'll put that trim back on. Some people might use the proper tool, but the tool in your hand is the proper tool as far as I'm concerned. This is probably super valuable molding. We're just bending. It's fine.
There's so many people typing so fast right now.
Furiously typing about how wrong we are about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the first, and it won't be the last time. This is still on here. Oh, I see. It actually might need a little bit more heat. You know, I just love vice grips. They're hammers, they're pliers, they're...
The ultimate multi-tool.
Oh. They really are. I mean, the Leatherman of garage tools. It'll be ginger this time. Gentle. Gentle. Not gentle. Oh, there we go. I think that's it. Nope, maybe not. How? Is there more than one bolt? All right, well, I'm gonna continue to hate my life for a little bit here and be back shortly. So, actually, is there a flathead screwdriver up there? See, this is all a flathead screwdriver should be used for, is a pry bar, not actual screws. Oh, that's hot. Ouch. Ouch. There we go. Haha. Okay. So what all is left? What am I missing? Oh. 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 According to my calculations, this should just come right off without any issues.
To your calculation.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. You are filming, but I do need a hammer for this. We'll use a dead blow.
I just tap, 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 tap.
No, this is, some guy wanted to send us a Chevy service manual, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, there we go.
That's a sign.
What?
The emblem fell off on its own.
The emblem fell off?
Yeah. There it is.
I like when everyone's like, Nova means no go in Spanish.
Yeah, someone said Nova Bueno or something.
Well, this needs a little bit more.
As one of the names.
A little bit more slicing. Does anyone else lose the torch striker 8 seconds after they use it? I've got about 12 of these. They're like can openers, I can never find them. Oh, these little bolts are pretty skookum. Oh yeah. I feel like it's gonna be a birthing.
Can anything in that bucket catch fire?
Nice. It's water.
Okay.
Maybe. We do have hard water here. Reg actually had a Fender. Chris was when he told me. How do you feel about one Fender being a different color than the rest?
I don't care.
Oh, perfect. Oh, this is a little rotten in here, actually. One Fender be black?
I'm in.
Okay. Well, now we know how to take the fender off. We'll just skip a few steps on the other side.
Straight to flames.
I'm thinking we might just tack weld the fenders and all that on the other car, you know? Or the other front end. But yeah. Straight to flames. Okay, we'll get the other fender off real quick, and then I'd like to pull the core support. If it comes apart easily, I don't know if it's So as it turns out, the core support is part of this, I think. And it's not going to come apart without a lot of fasteners coming off, so we'll see what happens. But this will come apart easy now that I know what I'm doing. Okay, so we got everything off. It went not bad. The bottoms of the fenders, there's a captured nut that goes through the, and it always screws up. So I just torch the bolts off. We'll heat them up, we'll pull them out. If they're all complete junk, you just cut it out and I'll weld like a nut in there. It'll be fine. Done that lots. This one came out no problem. I only broke, I think, that one bolt and then one that was in here or something. So pretty simple. The car's got a little bit of rot down here, just on this little seam, but not really terrible. Everything else seems good. I'm happy with it. Now, I believe how much work would be to take the core support out. If I should do that first, I mean, it looks like it's all bolted the whole way around. Maybe I'll play with it a little bit because, you know, pulling the motor out with the core support and all that right off, you can just come right out. You don't got to stand it on end. You're going to pull the motor trans together, obviously. And I'm not too sure what goes to that gasser kit. I assume, I mean, it's just going to be like a perimeter frame that's going to bolt up with some down bars, which will take place of, you know, the upper structure there. So pretty simple. I assume that the core support will probably go on it, so it all has to come apart anyways. So if we can get the bumpers off and the core support and the grill and all that off in one piece, you know, rat all that junk, make it a lot easier to pull the motor straight out. All we got is a couple motor, 2 mounts, transmission mount, a couple of hoses, and fuel line. We'll pull it straight out. And then all we'd be left with would be kind of this structure with the front end. And then I believe there's like, I don't know, a few bolts there, and I don't know what else there is. Is there 2 or 4 there, and maybe 2 at the top there? And then at that point, I think the entire front end will come off. So not too bad as far as I'm concerned. It's raining. But I got some bucket seats. Anyway, I just love when parts get dropped off. All you gotta do is pay for them, overpay for them. I decided against taking the core support out. There's bolts that go front and back, so it'll just be kind of a nightmare. I think I got most everything unhooked up top. Fuel line, radiator lines, throttle linkage, minimal wiring. There's a alternator. I think that's about it. I'm doing a lot underneath. I wasn't filming it because obviously I'm just under the car, so you're not going to see anything. We got both motor mount bolts out. Exhaust is chopped. Transmission cross member out. Drive shaft out. The transmission is currently sitting on the lift. Speedo cable, shifter cable, disconnect. I think that's about all that has to come out. Man, it's really raining out there. It's been a weird day. I think we should be able to kind of put a chain on this thing and yoink it out. We're gonna have to go obviously angle and, but this thing's whatever happens. Transmission lines are undone. We'll start pulling and see what kind of pulls back, you know, and then decide, do we unhook it or do we cut it? There might be a ground wire or two or something like that. And then motor trans out, then it's just the whole front clip, put the wheels back on it, and then it'll roll itself away over here. I tried cleaning up, and I'm trying to remain, you know, being clean, but it's a hassle. I'm gonna have to put this all in the backyard. Okay, I'll give it a quick once over. We'll drop her down, we'll charge the batteries on the camera, and then hopefully Danny will hold things. We get live action. So, thinking we're gonna try and pull the motor. My concern is, because the transmission's sitting on the lift, might be a bit of a situation to kind of get it out, because it has to kind of come up and out, and there's not a whole lot of room forward. So we may have to put a jack stand under the car or do something. It is high right now on purpose. I thought we'd just kind of test it out and see what happens, but I mean, really, I think if you just kind of keep pumping, oh, it's actually doing pretty good. Oh, is it leaking transmission oil? Oh, it's in the bucket though. The transmission oil is like just milkshake, so obviously.
It's like just in the bucket.
Yeah, well, just is still in. I just graduated high school, but.
Man, do you want a strawberry milkshake later?
Hey, you want to go? I feel like I'm gonna deserve it after this. Oh. Well, we may be hosed there. Has to go further ahead, and it's not gonna do that. I think we can just drop the lift down and see what happens. You gotta watch if it goes bad. Did the motor come out at all?
Yeah.
Feels like it's pulling it down.
No, it's not. It did.
I wonder if we can. Oh!
Like the motor part's not stuck, it's the hook.
It's gotta go that way, but I don't think there's any room. So, we'll see if we can cheat it maybe a little with a couple of jack stands. Hopefully this thing's not too high. We've got to re-rig and screw around, all sorts of crap. I was hoping we can kind of get it out and then I could just lower the lift away, but now that's clearly not going to happen right. Oh. We have all sorts of problems. What can we do? I guess we can put the wheels back on. Wow, it's just not really going my way in my head, you know?
What will that do?
What's that?
Turn the wheels back on.
We can lower the transmission. Oh, it's leaking oil too. The transmission is caught on the lift. There's a bar that goes across, so the transmission can't swing away from the car. So if we drop it down on the wheels, we'll have to drop the crane down and everything, so it's a bit of a hassle. That should allow enough swing in the transmission to come out, because we're taking the motor and trans out together, so the motor's gonna have to almost stand up on end. I was hoping we'd almost just leave the lift where it is and then, or the motor crane, and then just run the lift away from it. But foiled. I think everything else should come out okay. done a motor and trans on this lift. Oh, it's because there's a core support in it. We can't just go straight in. That's the problem, but man, that transmission oil is not happy looking. Looks like the wheels will clear the lift too, or the engine crane, so that's always nice. So we'll drop this down. There's stuff on the ground there, darling. I really want to get just grindy with it because I really don't care about anything here, but it's not really working out. Something happened. Doesn't even look like we mangled anything. Oh, we mangled the fan. Whoa. The 4-blade fan. Oh, that is making a hell of a mess. I think we should just stare at it, maybe?
Oh!
And the tray is now under the lift. Probably collapsed together.
Here, I'll get a close up because they can't really split that.
No, we don't want to show it off too much. Is it bad?
It's not good.
You know what? That should be on a t-shirt. It's not good.
DD Speed Shop. It's not good.
Is it bad? Just disconnect those real quick.
It takes so much time in the hair.
Hey, gentlemen, this is what ladies like. Being gentle. Really knowing what you're doing. You know? Okay. Honestly, though, it really isn't that bad. Oh, we're gonna run a roof? Because now it's all jacked up. Honey, can you hit the lift and see if it'll drop down anymore? The little lever. Every inch is gonna count at this point. Yep, that did nothing.
That's all the lift she's got. I guess all the down she's got.
Oh, there's pouring oil out of somewhere too.
Oh gosh. It's not good.
Don't worry. We here at DD Speed Shop really care about the environment.
We have all the materials.
Oh, yeah.
Clean it up.
We'll sawdust it and all those things. Oh, it's heavy. Ow.
There's a car there.
Thanks. We got more. We got more height.
But we need more backing space.
No, I'm just gonna wing it over.
Oh.
I don't know what's happening there. The leaks are significant though. How we doing? Oh, you know what? I actually just... I had a plug. I actually need this tomorrow, but I put it in the to-go box. Ah! We fixed it! Watch your fingers. This thing seems sketchy.
Honestly, that's the thumbnail.
Gentle. Gentle, gentle. Okay, and we're safe again. Don't worry, the door's fine. Hard on equipment. Just realign this real quick. Real quick. Come on, chain. If people are watching, this is embarrassing. Hopefully that'll be a little more level. Move that impact gun. Just kick it out of the way. That's where I'm gonna go with this.
You can't kick it out like flop.
This is a shop environment. You should be wearing approved footwear. Wait.
There's the tires.
We're just using it as a bumper. Hassle. Oh, it's really against the tire. I thought it was just like a little bit against the tire. There we go. Smells like gas. Ah. Oh. Not bad. Okay. We'll just leave that there until we get the Bobcat out. I'm really collecting the 6-cylinder engines lately. I really don't need them. But nobody wants to buy them. Okay. Man. So now, seems kind of loose. We have to undo, I guess it's just 4 bolts. And then 4 at the bottom, 2 up top. Then I think this whole mess will come off. So maybe I'll fight those bolts off real quick. 'Cause there's no way they're gonna go easy. That's just my life. And then come back, film that part, get the whole front end out. I don't know if I should maybe ratchet strap it to the lift too, or move it ahead so it has be definitely a little front light. Oh, what do we got on? We'll do that off camera where I throw my back out. Okay, well, it's been a lot of screwing around, but I think we got this thing mostly ready to go. I got the bottom, there's 4 bolts at the bottom, like where the kind of subframe bolts together, and there's 3 on each side here at the top. So I heat everything up, and you know, I'm not trying to screw this stuff up. These ones aren't very big, but the bottom ones are. Okay, so that's obviously gonna completely fall down. So I have it so it's just barely kind of held up. The steering box, I guess, gonna be doing a fair bit of load right now. Work it back and forth. I feel like stripping those out would be a bit of a hassle. I wonder if I should put a floor jack under this or something. Maybe that's an idea. Pause. Okay, so I just put a floor jack under it just so it can't completely kind of fall down. This is in the way. I'll probably need it. The batteries just on this thing. Okay, one more. Ooh, that was intense. Okay, So the car definitely kind of tilted away a little. Can we just, oh, the steering box did it. Just pull this right out of the column. Body is definitely tilty. Guess we'll see what happens here. Okay. Now we'll just put this like this. What a mess. Okay, so now definitely got a bit of a situation there. But the rear end does have to come out of it. I think if I ratchet strap the front down to the lift, I'll be okay. So I think that's where I'm leaving it for today. That was a lot of work. You got thing drop down. We'll ratchet strap the front end together. I'm leery to move it because we have to pull the rear end out as well, so it's all kind of irrelevant. So tomorrow I'm going to get some Sawzall blades. I'm not even going to try and unbolt the leafs or nothing. I have new leaf springs, I have new shackles, I have new bushings, everything for the rear end. So we're just going to Sawzall the 4 bolts that hold it, drop that down, and then cut the brake line. And it's out, and we actually take the fuel tank out because I ordered a new fuel tank as well. So that'll take a lot of weight off the back end. And then really, the thing is going to sit here until we get the shipment from Speedway. And I'll probably just put the front clip on first or something like that, and that'll give it its weight back. I don't know how much of this I'm taking off. I assume obviously the grill and all those kind of pieces will have to be dealt with, but now it's a lot easier just to get to everything. And I don't know what we're going to use for wiring. If I should, this is all old stuff. If I should just put a universal harness in this thing or not. So that might be coming up. But that's it for now. We'll see you tomorrow. And I don't know, start taking it further apart yet again. I'm just going to putski around. We're using the torch, so make sure there's no fires. It'll be pretty good. This is cool. There's actually little, I guess, spacers for the front end. I don't know. This is all new to me. Guess this new kit's going to be something going on there. Hopefully Speedway has designed it for idiots, because that's what's going to happen. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I think the whole firewall is going to be exposed. And this has got all this globs of undercoating on, but maybe we can kind of peel it off. Oh yeah, we probably can. So it won't look awful under there. That'll be a Danielle job. Fire. Okay, see you tomorrow. It is a new day. We got a little bit of stuff cleaned up here. I managed to pawn off that junk motor and trans. We have the front end left over. We'll discombobulate that. I put a ratchet strap on the subframe down to the lift, so it shouldn't, you know, one of those. We're going to lift it up, and then really all I got to do is I'll put one of these jacks under the back, and it should be fine. Now, what we're going to do today is final disassembly. I went out and picked up some Sawzall blades. These are, if you guys don't use these, I don't know what to tell you, these are fantastic. Those are the Diablos out here. Pretty good too. But anyways, stuff has been shipping and starting to hit the border from Speedway, so pretty minty on that. Now the problem is, of course, stuff showing up in multiple shipments, and there's no point going down until everything is there. So, well, anyways, well, a few big pieces. So hopefully that'll continue to show up this week. Unfortunately, dealing with the border and all that does take a little bit of time. So this won't be, well, there might be a little break in between videos on this thing. Wow. Oh wow, it's a little rusty up in there. Huh, maybe it needs a little repair or a little undercoating. Anyway, I guess that's kind of irrelevant. What am I saying? Oh yeah, so we'll lift it up and I'm gonna Sawzall the rear end out and the exhaust. And then that's it for a little bit. Well, maybe the videos will be in a row for you, but for me it'll be a bit of a break. So, slight change of plans. When I lifted this thing, I forgot I lifted it on the perch, so that's gonna be a hassle to screw with. And I guess I could kind of re-rig, but just where it is gonna be kind of ugly. I like to get the rear end out and all that. Now, what I did do is I ordered brand new leaf springs because these are kind of sacked out, and I know people have said that, I mean, these are original leaf springs, so they're a little sacked out. we're going to be putting, you know, more weight in the front end, tilting it back and all that. Now we are going to raise cut the wheel well, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue, but I think the new springs are like $250 each, so I just put a set in. Exact same model leaf will have all brand new stuff in the back. You know, I've learned that lesson too, obviously, for traveling or doing whatever you want to put, you know, with your luggage and all your gear in the back. The car can be fine for cruising around town, but you load it up and all of a sudden you have issues when you're, you know, 2,000 miles from home. So probably have air shocks and a few things like that as well. But I think what I'm just going to do is lower this thing down a little bit, and I'm just going to torch the springs right in half, get the rear end out, and then I can mess with it at a later date because it's all kind of irrelevant, but the rear end can be out and away, and then the car will be much more balanced. There won't be any more weight hanging back and forth is kind of my plan. This thing's not moving no matter what we're doing at this point, so we can do that. And honestly, I could actually put the new lease back in if I had to. We could put the rear end in and drag it some way somehow, but we have other things to do in the other shop anyways, so that's what I'm going to do. We're going to destroy it. Okay, so a little butchery, but it's out. Now what I'll probably end up doing, you know, we'll let it sit, just make sure there's no fires and stuff. I'm gonna have to siphon the fuel out of the tank, we'll drop that down. There's only maybe 5 or 6 gallons in it, but still, we'll do that. And I mean, the tank might be good for somebody. I'll also re-rig this thing. Now there's no weight on it, we can kind of put some jack stands under it, and we can move the lift arms to like the pinch welds on the body itself. And then I can get in there and get the rest of these springs out. So what I want to do is essentially run the Sawzall blade this way and cut the bolts out, which would have been a nightmare. So we got that in the back. We have, like I said, new shackles and springs, so that's easy. We have to put those right in. Tank out, and that's basically done. Up front, we got just one little section here. I'll weld a little plate or something in there. We have to get this rest of this undercoating up. This is all stuff I'm just going to do on my own. There's no point in dragging this video on anymore. I got to clean up in here obviously a little bit more, go through it all. I'll scrape most of this undercoating off, I guess, as much as I kind of feel like is needed. I wonder if this car was like red or if that's just primer or what. We'll probably take off the single pot master, pull the column out, you know, take off the heater hoses, fuel line can come out, and I believe that's basically it. It's kind of stripped down. There's not a whole lot left on this hot rod to deal with. I have to make a list of parts I want to order. So we got coming up starter, water pump, alternator. I think I might buy a wiring harness for this thing just to kind of rewire it while we're at it. Let's be honest. I mean, it's kind of cheap insurance to do it now. Get all that taken care of, and yeah, have it basically stripped and just waiting for parts while we work on other things because I can't sit still. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Again, you guys are basically funding this whole ridiculous project. I hope I see you cruising the coast. I hope everything goes well and the car makes it without a whole lot of issues. Knock on wood. And that's kind of the end of it. So I'm gonna get to cleaning. You guys can get to liking the video and commenting below and subscribing. Thanks so much again. And let me know what you think. Hopefully you like it, because at this point, we bought the car. We overpaid for the car. You know, it's overpriced. So we were here and then spent a bunch of money on it. We got it roadworthy, and now we've plummeted below the baseline. We're out of the graph. But hopefully we'll be like a steep whoop when the Speedway stuff shows up. See you in the next one.